Hey folks, in this lecture, we're going to learn how to extend LVM-based file systems without losing any data. This is an essential skill for both real-world Linux administration and the RHCSA exam. Imagine your /mnt/lv test disk is being used by a growing application, and it's starting to run out of space. Instead of migrating everything to a new disk, we can simply increase the size of the underlying logical volume, and the mounted file system will grow accordingly. That's the power of LVM. We learned how to create volume groups and logical volumes back in Module 6, and we already created one named LV test inside a volume group called VG data. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that like button if you like my video. Also click on that notification bell. Thank you. So let's begin by checking the current storage structure. I type the command lsblk. This shows all attached block devices. In the output, I can see that SDD1 is mounted on /mnt/lv test disk and is part of a logical volume named VG-data-lv test. To see how much space is left in the volume group, I type sudo vgs. The output tells me that VG data has around 1 gigabyte of free space available. Then I type sudo lvs to view logical volume details. It shows LV test is currently around 1 gigabyte in size. To confirm the mounted size from the file system's perspective, I type df-h-T. This shows that /dev/mapper/vg data-lv test is mounted on /mnt/lv test disk and currently has a size of approximately 1 gigabyte with plenty of free space still remaining. Now let's simulate a real-world requirement where we want to increase the size of this volume. I type the command sudo lvextend-L plus 500m/dev/vg-data/lv test. This means that we're extending the existing logical volume by 500 megabytes. The output confirms that the size changed from 1.02 gigabytes to 1.48 gigabytes. Because this logical volume uses the EXT4 file system, I need to resize the file system manually. I type sudo resize2 fs/dev/vg-data/lv test. The output confirms that the file system was successfully resized while mounted. Now to verify, I run df-h-T again. This time the LV test disk shows the new size of 1.5 gigabytes. So without moving any data or rebooting, we have extended the disk successfully using LVM. But what if the volume group has no free space left? In that case, we can add a new disk, create a partition, and include it in our existing volume group. That's what I'm going to demonstrate now. I already have a free disk named /dev/SDE. To create a new partition on it, I type sudo fdisk/dev/SDE. Inside fdisk, I press N to create a new partition, then press Enter 3 times to use all available space. Then I press T to change the partition type and type 8E to set it as Linux LVM. Finally, I press W to write the changes and exit. The partition table is updated. Next, I type sudo partprobe to reload the partition table without rebooting. There's no error, so I continue. I now initialize this partition as a physical volume by typing sudo pvcreate/dev/SDE1. The output confirms that the physical volume was successfully created. To extend the existing volume group with this new physical volume, I type sudo vg extend vg-data/dev/SDE1. The output says volume group vg-data successfully extended. That means our volume group now has more free space. I want to create a new logical volume using this space and format it with the XFS file system. I type sudo lv create-capital L500M-NLV XFS VG data. It warns me about a previous XFS signature, so I type Y to wipe it. The output confirms that LVXFS was created successfully. Now I format this volume using XFS. I type sudo mkfs.xfs/dev/vgdata/lvxfs. The output shows the details of the new XFS file system and is ready to use. To mount it, I create a directory by typing sudo mkdir/mnt/lvxfsdisk. This will act as the mount point. Then I mount it by typing sudo mount/dev/vgdata/lvxfs/mnt/lvxfsdisk. No error, so I continue. Now let's extend this XFS logical volume as well. I type sudo lvextend -capital L plus 400m/dev/vgdata/lvxfs. The output confirms that the logical volume size increased from 500 to 900 megabytes. For XFS, resizing is done using xfs_grow_fs. I type sudo xfs_growfs/mnt/lvxfsdisk. The output confirms the data blocks have changed, meaning the file system has expanded successfully. I verify everything one last time using df-T. The output shows the mount point/mnt/lvxfsdisk is now over 800 megabytes in size. That confirms that LVM and file system both were resized dynamically. If this setup is to be made persistent, we just need to add the appropriate entry in /etc/fs tab using either the device name, UUID, or label. This ensures the volume mounts automatically after reboot. And that wraps up our demo. We've seen how to extend EXT4 and XFS file systems using LVM with zero data loss even when space runs out. This is something you'll face frequently in real environments, especially on fast-growing systems. Remember to always verify space in your volume group with VGS. And for XFS file systems, you can use lvextend with the -r flag to resize both the logical volume and the file system in one go. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.